You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah, now there's no sound. There is now. All because my computer didn't want to cooperate. It took some time to finally catch up with itself. But again, I am Glennon Taylor. Welcome again to my live stream. So we talk about everything in regards to Predator collectibles, from prop replicas, statues, comic books, action figures, and we're going to be talking about Alabama Comic-Con. And I'm just really excited because that's where I am. That's where I'm going. There's not going to be a lot of things going on for Alabama Comic-Con, only but one artist. Everyone else is, you know, your standard Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger from Power Rangers, and a few other people. So we're just going to talk about conventions on this live stream. What's up, Rhonda? Waiting for a few other people to jump on as well. I'm going to see if I can't share this really quickly as well. Yeah, I know. Definitely con season right now. Everyone's getting ready for it. There was Emerald City Comic Con. Everyone was talking about that as far as collecting Funko Pops. I don't really care. See, that's funny. Everyone was talking about the exclusives at Emerald City Comic Con. They didn't talk about anything else. It was just Funko Pops. Like, y'all can have Funko Pop crap. I'm not even interested in that stuff. I mean, I have Funko Pops. I have my Gemini Collectibles one. But it's only because it's a Predator. That's the only reason why it's in my house. What 3 suits are you working on right now? Are they for other people or for you? Let's see. And normally when I talk about cons, I usually 2 P1s and a shaman. That's awesome. This is a shaman from the same... Not for you. Okay. Well, normally if I go to a convention, usually I have a schedule or a set schedule. So if it's 4 days, say for example, if it's Thursday through a Sunday, this is usually my schedule. So Thursday, I get all my comics done and get them graded through CGC. What's up, Nick? Well, you have to get up at 12:30 a.m. I'm sorry, brother. But anyway, Nick, pretty much I'm glad you jumped on because I'm talking about my schedule for conventions that I went to. So normally, if let's say it's Thursday through Sunday, as you see in this picture, usually I get my comic books and everything graded by CGC on Thursday. Friday, I go through Artist Alley to pick up some really cool art prints if there's any Predator art that I can pick up. Saturday is cosplay day where I don't cosplay, but my friends do. So like Kurt, Sean, they'll dress as Predators and I'm their handler on Saturday. And then Sunday, being since it's the last day of the con, I try to pick up some really cool toys, try to haggle a little bit to meet somewhere in the middle on Sunday because a lot of vendors don't want to carry all that stuff with them to other conventions in other states. So that's pretty much what my schedule is for cons if they're that length. But my schedule for Alabama Comic Con, which that again I'll be going to right here, that's going to be where Saturday and Sunday, it's only 2 days. So Saturday I have to do my interview with a artist, so that'll be Artist Alley. See if there's any other comic books that I can get. I'm missing an issue from Archie vs. Predator, and I'm also missing the entire 4-issue run of Alien vs. Predator vs. Terminator. So I'm missing those 5 comic book issues. So, but I did, however, in my past conventions, and I kind of go in order, with Amazing Arizona Comic Con, usually that's done in January of every year. They're not in Arizona anymore. But I did, in fact, meet Adam Kubert, who did Batman vs. Predator along with his brother Andy. So that's me and Andy Kubert right there, or Adam, I'm sorry. Niagara Falls Comic Con. I would like to go to that, just to see the Niagara Falls, just once, and be able to suit up. Let's see. So pretty much what it is also, there was, what else did I get from Amazing Arizona Comic Con? I think that's pretty much it. I got a few cool art prints. I did get a few toys, like I got my Elder Hot Toys 2.0 version. I got that from, yeah, I would love to go. Rhonda, I would love to go. Who knows if I can save up my money, because I'm going to get a credit card and use that to get gas, pay bills, stuff like that. I know it's not probably the smart way of going, but it would help ease the finance stress a little bit, so living paycheck to paycheck. Now, do you guys remember, I think there was Phoenix Fan Fest that I did go to. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Bob Layton, he usually does Iron Man. I highly recommend it, Nick, because I've not been to a comic book or pop culture convention in 2.5 years since I've been here. That works, Rhonda. I don't see why not. Let's see if I can't make plans. This is only, what, March? April, May, June? So about 2.5 months. Save up money. So actually, I really do recommend that you go to a con at least once. The last con I went to was indeed Amazing Arizona Comic Con. It was the last one, and that was 2015. And I haven't been to a con since then because this is Alabama. They don't have cons. I think this Alabama Comic Con thing, you know, right here, this is going to probably be their very first one. So I don't know if it'll last very long. I hope it does. But if you guys remember, Bob Layton, sorry, he's a comic book artist and he does a lot of Iron Man stuff. So this is him doing the cover for Iron Man, Demon in a Bottle. That's a very famous story where Tony Stark is an alcoholic. It's actually what inspired him to drink in Iron Man 2. So this is him on the set. That's Bob Layton right now, with Robert Downey Jr. and Jon Favreau. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because he actually was at Phoenix Comic Con Fan Fest, and he is the editor for Predator vs. Magnus Robot Fighter. So I went there and I got my comic book signed by Bob Layton. And you can see the Iron Man right there in the bottom left-hand corner. So that's just usually, I try to get Predator artists, not realizing they have a huge, significant impact on the comic book industry and the comic book Marvel movies. It's just real. I'm like, when I go back and I look at what else did these artists do, it blows my mind of what else they've done. So it's a perfect example is I went to Phoenix Comic Con. That was my #1 con to go to since I moved out to Arizona. So for example, this is usually what my friends do, is the Phoenix Comic Con 2014. So that's Tim and that's Mike in their Predator suits. And this is usually the Phoenix Comic Con backdrop. And I always go there just to try to get ready to go to a con. That's me with my checklist, my badge, my backpack, my hoodie. This is me on a proton pack. So I think the proton pack actually is really, really cool. Since I saw it, I had to try it on and wear it. So there's me. I just think it was really cool to put on a proton pack for once. Now this is the Comic-Con badge for 2012. They did it like a superhero Marvel theme. So I think that was really cool because I love Phoenix Comic-Con. Now the reason I'm also bringing that up is because Michigan Motor City, isn't that that's not the horror one, is it? Well, Nick, that's the thing. It is really cheap, but there's a reason why. The economy here sucks. It really does. And I actually will let you know that I should not have come here to begin with. I've been at the same job for about 3 years. As of July, it'll be 3 years. I have not been promoted. I haven't been doing anything. I've gotten raises, but they start me out at $7.25 an hour. That's their minimum wage here in Alabama. I should not have come here. I'm absolutely miserable. Oh, Motor City Comic Con. Okay, I got you. I know there was a horror one, I think, in the same city. I could be wrong. Yeah, no, it's just, it's cheap here because the economy is also not that great. It's because people can't afford to do anything. So it's, if I were to quit the job that I have now, I'd be in the exact same industry that I would go to another job and get paid less because I would move from one job to another. So I had to start all the way at the bottom of the totem pole at, again, $7.25 an hour. So it's just not a suitable place to live, in my opinion. Don't ever try to live in Alabama. Just don't do it. But also what I did at Phoenix Comic Con is, let's see, I'm trying to find it. This is the con entrance. So the con entrance usually is, there's more than one entrance to this. I just figured I would take a picture of it in regards to what it looks like when you first get into the con floor or the exhibit hall. And this is the con floor when you walk into the convention center. So the Phoenix Comic Con Convention Center itself it's a street level. And then what you do is you go from street level, you go all the way down underneath the building. And there you can see the backdrop on the left-hand side. And everyone's kind of congregating around Optimus Prime. They had a huge Optimus Prime and Bumblebee statues in the middle of the con floor. It's pretty sweet. But this is, of course, the Batman vs. Predator cover. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I did, in fact, meet Arthur Sidam. And he did the artwork for that cover. So this is, of course, Arthur Sidam. So that's what he looks like with the cover. That's the print that I bought. I was really excited to get it. The other person I met at Phoenix Comic Con was Scott Collins. He does a lot of Flash and a lot of DC comic books. And he also did Predator Primal. So I got both number 1 and number 2 graded. And I was kind of disappointed because number 1, the one he signed, came back as an 8.5. The one he didn't sign came back as a 9.2. I was like, really? I was wishing the signature would got a little bit more of a higher grade. So, what's up, Wolf? Sorry for the delay. I probably should have just started this at 6 o'clock as opposed to 5:45, but I'm glad you make it. Now, the other person that I met, now it's coming to mind, is Adam's brother, Andy. And I was able to meet him and get my copies of Batman vs. Predator number 1 and number 2 signed at Phoenix Comic Con. So usually you have to get these things witnessed for them to be signed off on, but I got those signed. This is the Dark Horse Comics booth at Phoenix Comic Con. Do you remember the Fire and Stone mural they usually progressed? So I was there, took a picture of that. It was so beautiful and it was so big. I'm like, hell yeah. We had the aliens, we got the engineer, we have Prometheus, Predator, that's Ahab in the comic book series. And then I met Kari. Kari is the convention coordinator for Dark Horse Comics, so I was able to meet her. So Phoenix Comic Con is just a blast, and it's just a huge ordeal, and I wish I can go. I'm hoping to go in May. I don't know if I can go because Tim Curry is going to be there, and I love Tim Curry as an actor. He's had a stroke, so unfortunately he's wheelchair bound now, but I really do want to meet him. Who else did I meet? Oh yeah, I also met Chris Claremont, and Chris Claremont is the person behind the Uncanny X-Men. And what's really cool is that he also co-created Mystique. He created Nightcrawler. Sorry, I got those confused. He co-created Nightcrawler, Gambit, Storm, Mystique, and in X-Men Days of Future Past, this is a scene where you have him sitting on the far left, and his co-writer partner Len Wayne, who unfortunately passed away. But this is the scene where they're talking about the Sentinel program, and he's actually in that scene. And this is Chris Claremont and Hugh Jackman. I just think it was really cool. I see, and that's another thing. I don't know why it was on there, but apparently he did a lot of things, you know, for X-Men. Yeah, I remember Rhonda. That was with you and I forgot his name, but the Celtic and you as the alien fighting in front of the mural. I think that was an awesome picture. But in regards to Chris Claremont, apparently there was an interview. You can't afford to go to Comic-Con. Well, I can't afford to go to San Diego Comic-Con. That's all the way in California. Do you not have a Comic-Con in your area, Wolf? Any kind of comic book or pop culture convention? Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick. Sorry. So what's really cool is that when Chris Claremont was talking about, because I had asked him a question about his comic book, because I think there was a comic book that he helped wrote, and that was the Alien vs. Predator Deadliest of the Species, the 12-issue line. And it was really cool is that there was an interview that he did for X-Men. Check this out.
Dave, future, first of all, when you look and you know, just looking at it, that everybody there who is a mutant is living on borrowed time. The neat tagline for Days of Future Past was that you don't know what will happen tomorrow. You just have to do everything you can today to make the world and life in the world as good as possible.
Now, I did ask him a question at Phoenix Comic Con, so this is what I had to ask him about it. Check this out.
So I asked you about the versus Predator, Deadliest of the Species, which I want to thank you for signing a book for me.
You're welcome.
The next question I have is exactly how did Dark Horse approach you about the project, and how did you feel about the project tackling a big franchise that Dark Horse started?
93? Some mid-90s. They called. I said, oh, well, I'm unemployed. It's amazing how that will automatically make every offer.
Yeah.
If he called up and said, you want to do Daffy Duck? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Daffy, hitherto unsuspected mutant, living in Westchester. And then the second part was, so what could I do that nobody else has done? And I thought, I could, oh no, not again. Yeah, I tried that.
Oh, okay.
But unfortunately, I don't do music. And cliche as it sounds, I thought, screw it. Let's do Kick-Ass. Let's do the Predator and the Alien as heroes and see what happens. And I did. Mm-hmm. It's the only, as far as I can remember, it's the only Alien Predator story where the two characters are legitimate heroes. Mm-hmm. In every sense of the word. Yeah.
Sinister laugh.
Insert
sinister laugh here.
So you didn't feel intimidated at all by taking the project at all?
No. We're writers. That's the whole point.
We're the pros from Dover. We don't need to be intimidated to.
There you go. Thank you.
So I just thought that was really cool because I didn't know that he had done Alien vs. Predator Deadliest Species until I figured out his past. He did Uncanny X-Men, so I got him to sign that and got that graded. Asked him that question you just heard about. It's interesting because there was a lot of comments about how he wrote the story. In Alien vs. Predator Deadliest Species, the main character goes in and out of a dreamlike state, and it was confusing because if you read it per the issues 1 through 12, and you know how issues come out on a monthly basis, you're left confused. Okay, well, is she dreaming? Is she not dreaming? Is this real or is this make believe? It was really hard to stay with the story. So it was just really, really interesting to have him say that per his statement it was the truest form of superhero writing that he did for Alien versus Predator, or in this case, Alien and a Predator were the heroes and not the villains. And I kind of figured that was how he was going to do it, because he's used to writing heroes for many, many years for Marvel Comics. So now knowing that he's done and made scenes in Days of Future Past and X-Men during the Sentinel program scene, I wish I've gotten Uncanny X-Men or Days of Future Past signed by him too, but I'm happy with my Aliens vs. Predator Deadliest of the Species comic that he wrote. So I think also, who else did I meet? I think it was about, there was Chris, Scott, Arthur, and I think there's a few others that I've met as well. But pretty much all the toys that were there, like this is all the NECA toys that I was able to find. So you got the open mouth berserker, you got the falconer, the tracker, a few other Predator 2 boar or Brother Boar figures. The tracker in most of these pictures, their tusks were broken. It was absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't find a good decent tracker to save my life. Now the cosplay group we have, this is me. So we got Christina, Art, Tim, Sean's right beside me. Then we have, of course, Kurt's wife, Michelle. Kurt is the biggest one, all black on the right hand side. Then we got Weston and Weston's wife, all in a cosplay group. We call themselves the Desert Destroyers. So this is actually what I do on Saturdays, as I am their handler on the Saturdays that we do. Now the first time we ever did a Comic-Con like this, it was Madhouse. Check this out. So this is the entire
Comic-Con.
Remember me?
Yeah, I remember you. You want to get up there with him, or you want to stand beside him?
Very good. I'm the MC for the masquerade.
Okay.
Are you guys injured?
I don't think we are, because we just have a huge, massive group of people.
That's
so,
okay.
well, I didn't know.
No. We don't mind.
Okay, because I didn't know if it was based on individual or.
No. You guys, here, because there's been a lot of misconceptions about what the masquerade is for many years.
Yeah.
A group like this is totally fine.
Okay.
Totally cool. You don't have to do a skit. You don't have to sing, dance, or do comedy.
So it was just really a lot of fun to do it that way. Yeah, for me, Wolf, I definitely need a suit, and Rhonda knows this more than well than I do, but it's just money. So I would suit up on Saturday, because that's the most busiest and most populated time of the year, or for that con anyway. So I don't know how Alabama Comic-Con will be for Saturday, being since it's only 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. I have both those days off, so it's probably going to be a little bit chaotic, because I won't know where everything is. I don't know if there's going to be a map of which artist will be where everything will be, where Artist Alley is, stuff like that. So that's going to be my plan. Steve, what's up, man? You actually missed it. I was mentioning Chris Claremont a little bit earlier. Let's see. Now, also what I did on Phoenix Comic Con, I think there was also something else I forgot to mention too, is that we also had our first panel. This is Phoenix Comic Con 2012, Predator Costume Concept Design and Planning. It was about an hour. It's from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then, of course, this is us at the panel itself, all unsuited. So that's me talking about the design and planning aspect, because you still have to plan everything out. You still have to figure out how long latex is going to cure if you're going to do the latex route. Kurt did just plastic buckets from Home Depot. And then, of course, you have James out of his suit. So that's pretty much how I usually do my panels, if I ever attend a panel for them or with them. I usually talk about how I'm the archive or historian for the group. Why I don't have a suit. Because I'm a perfectionist. It sucks being a perfectionist sometimes. Now, the other con that I went to was Tucson Comic Con, and that's usually held in November. I'm hoping, because it's in November, the dates has already been set, I really want to go to Tucson Comic Con, because this is Predator Invaders from the Fourth Dimension, and this actually was my very first comic book page that I got at Tucson Comic Con, and this is from inker Brian Garvey, and this is me and him standing with a new edition of Predator pages that I got from him. This is page 11 from the same comic book, so that's what he looks like. So that's what page 11 looks like from the comic book. So if you'll notice, from that page to the page I'm holding, it's very, very similar because it's obviously the original. The other person that I met there was Sam De La Rosa, and he did a lot of the ink work for Predator Concrete Jungle. And I met him at Tucson Comic Con, and I got an art print from him. This is a print, this is not the original, but the print that he took was from a panel off of Predator Concrete Jungle issue number 2, or issue 1, I'm sorry, and that's the bottom page that he took off of. So he went and redrew that for me to have. So I thought that was really awesome of him to do. And this is my Comic-Con haul. So I got the print, I got another art print, Alien vs. Predator, I got a signed copy of issue number 2, I got my original comic book page, and I got another Predator art print from Tucson Comic Con. So I'm actually just really, really excited about doing that again. So I actually have something as well. I did get something in the mail, which I also forgot to open. So we're going to open this up right now. And I think it's my pins. I just don't know how big the pin is. Oh, this is beautiful. Thanks, Steve. I was really excited. Alright, so I finally did get my Predator pins in the mail. This is actually a lot bigger than I thought. I think this is about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. But there you go. I don't know if you can see that or not. There we go. That's pretty big for a pin. I mean, you can see my hand, palm of the hand. I'll definitely be sporting this for Alabama Comic Con. I actually got 2 of these, so this one I'll wear, the other one I'll keep on its card. The company that actually does this pin, I think, Steve, you've already seen it. This is from Wasteland Pin Company. So there's that. My jean jacket that I'm going to get, it's beautiful. It came out a lot better than it did. So yeah, that's pretty big. A lot of my pins are not this size, so this is just an awesome, awesome pin. Now, what I'm gonna do on Wednesday, I'm gonna try to get my jacket done by a seamstress, and I'm gonna put this on the back of it. So this will be on the back of my jean jacket when I get an opportunity to get that sewn on as well. So I'm really excited about getting that on my jean jacket, because usually I wear a hoodie, as you'll notice from that Phoenix Comic-Con picture, and I'll show it again. But usually I wear that hoodie. I usually wear it a lot to my conventions, but that hoodie is just all tattered. It's falling apart. I wish I could wear it more often, but I just can't. Yeah, it's really big. That's why, I mean, this is actually coming all the way from Argentina, but this is about how big it is. So that'll be on the back of my jacket. I'm planning everything I can. I'll do a favor for you, Rhonda. When I get a chance to go up to Canada for Niagara Fall Comic Con in June, if I can make it, I'll do my best to try to go. I'll wear that hoodie again one more time before I discontinue it. I'll try to see if I can get because the sleeves are right here. The lace or the elastic is coming undone. Nice to see you, Rails. Did you miss this? My Predator patch? It's an actual sewn patch. I'm getting it on the back of my jacket, my jean jacket. And then, of course, I have another pin to add to my collection as well. You may have missed that too. But this is my enamel pin. This is big. This is a lot bigger than I thought, as I mentioned to Steve and everybody else. But look how shiny that thing is. Yeah. Rails, you missed it, man. I already talked about Amazing Arizona Comic-Con, Tucson Comic-Con, Phoenix Comic-Con. But you're actually in for a treat, though, guys. That would be sick. So Steve said, I'm saying get a good scan of that patch, blow the image up to about 4 feet in diameter, and make it a decal. Put that on straight on the hood of your car. But 4 feet in diameter, you'd have to find a printer. I'd have to go. That'd be expensive as heck. There's no way. But I think Rails and Rhonda know very well about Monsterpalooza. Monsterpalooza to me is my home away from home. This is by far my favorite convention. It's more of a horror convention. But if you guys want Predator, there is no other place you want to be at that other than Monsterpalooza. Now you can go to your pop culture conventions like the ones I showed off regarding Chris Claremont, Bob Layton about Predator comics and Predator toys. Yeah, it would be worth it. But I'm getting rid of my car though. I don't think I ever buy. I don't want another car. Cars can just go somewhere else. I'd rather let someone chauffeur me around. I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on a car only to have it depreciate in value. No way, Jose. But Monsterpalooza, I think you guys like. Watch this. So Monsterpalooza was co-created by this guy here. His name's Elliot Brodsky. And this is me and my son Drake I'm holding. But he's the creator of Monsterpalooza. And this is the line for Monsterpalooza, guys. This is how you have to wait in line to get into the event just to get through everything. Because at the time they moved it to from Burbank Marriott Convention Center right across the street from the Bob Hope International Airport in Burbank. So the fire marshal says that per the capacity of people, this convention center can only hold so much, right? But what I really was excited about was that I met for the first time. I actually met him twice. is Haruo Nakajima, the original Godzilla suit actor from 1954. But unfortunately, he passed away last year. And the picture that I'm holding is actually this picture right here. That's blown up. So that's the picture I got autographed by Haruo Nakajima, him in the Godzilla suit. So that was pretty sweet. Yeah. I was super... I mean, I love Predator, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love and adore Predator. But when I heard that the Godzilla, the original Godzilla, was making his first United States appearance at Monsterpalooza, I went. I mean, that was my childhood dream come true. I never thought I would ever able to get to meet the Godzilla suit actor himself. Yeah, I mean, I was super, super doped. So the other cool thing is that with Monsterpalooza, a lot of you may also know Men in Black and American Werewolf in London. Well, I also met Rick Baker, the man himself. So he worked on all those horror movies. He's actually wearing his shirt, which I find very funny. American Werewolf in London. So I met Rick Baker. And who else did I meet? I also, of course, met, believe it or not, from Aliens and Alien vs. Predator, Lance Hendrickson. So that's me and Bishop. I met him a couple of times. And Lance Hendrickson is really a down-to-earth guy. Rhonda has met Lance as well. It was kind of funny how she told me about how she met Lance. Yeah, Rick Baker is awesome. And I think that it's sad that he sold his studios. And his studios was being converted into a storage facility. I'm like, that sucks. So that's just how the industry goes for some people. He's just said, I know you love Bishop. And I know you love Lance, Rhonda. It's okay. But the other cool thing, who else did I meet? Oh, check this out. So you obviously know that's, Lance Hendrickson. I also met the son of Stan Winston, Matt Winston. So that's me and Matt standing on stage at Monsterpalooza as well for the 25th anniversary Predator panel. And I went also there to his Stan Winston School of Character Arts booth. So he's doing that for him and his dad in remembrance of his father. And they also had there the bio helmets from Predator. So there's the two Predator bio helmets. So you got the silver one, and you got somewhat like a battle damaged bio helmet that they did. It was actually a class of how to do metal paint and how to do metal weathering and stuff like that. So it was actually a really cool DVD tutorial that you can buy. And I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway for that, but that won't be until the end of the year. So that would be a kind of cool giveaway, I think. I'll try to do like a Stan Winston School of Character Arts giveaway, where a lucky winner might get the entire video library plus a shirt. And then a runner-up will get the Predator-based DVDs that they've done for Predator and Alien vs. Predator. But with Monsterpalooza, I also met, believe it or not, Eric Geist. Now, Eric Geist, he did the cover for Alien vs. Predator Fire and Stone. And that's the original artwork. So this is Eric Geist with the original painting that he did for Alien vs. Predator Fire and Stone with Ahab and all the aliens from the very first issue. That's issue number 1. He sold it right there at that con for $2,000, and I was so mad. I was so upset. I'm like, oh, you're killing me. And they have other things too, Predator related at Monsterpalooza. Like there's this really cool statue. So I think this is really neat. I think it's a model kit. But the model kit is right there. I think this is a 26-inch Predator. I took a photograph there at Monsterpalooza as well. And the other person that I met was Danny Glover. I know you guys who know that is. This is the first time that I met Danny Glover at Monsterpalooza, and then I met him again at Phoenix Comic Con. So that's me and Danny Glover with the bio helmet for City Hunter. And what was really cool is I also met for the first time Steve Wang. So there's me and legendary artist Steve Wang from Predator. And I got his autograph. So that's Steve Wang autographing a photograph that I did for myself of him painting the Predator suit. Hey, what's up, Pygmy? Yeah, you made it. So the other thing that there's this Monsterpalooza is just so rad. Steve Wang is a really cool, down-to-earth guy. Now the other person I met is the nephew of Kevin Peter Hall, Jamie Hall. So this is Kevin Peter Hall's nephew in a Predator suit. So we did a lot of cool things at this. This is the suit stage. It was just really awesome to see Jamie Hall in an uncle suit. Awesome times. So I was really excited to see that. And this is, of course, Jamie Hall in the suit as well. So that's Steve Wang and Matt Rose. So Matt Rose, of course, did a lot of things. Like he did the bio helmet. Matt Rose sculpted and painted the mask as well. So they have two legends, Steve Wang and Matt Rose, stand beside the nephew of Kevin Peter Hall. That was just awesome. I was so glad I was able to go to that. But now also what you guys may not know is that David Mosher did a lot of the fabrication and sculpting for the Icon's Predator helmet. So there's the Icon's Predator bio helmet. So this is David Mosher that I met, and David sculpted the stand. This is a cast from the, I'm not sure if it was the cast from the original mold or not, but this is a rare, hard to find item. I can't find it. I don't think anyone else can too either. But Monsterpalooza is just a lot of fun. Now, what's really also, if you guys remember on my video feed or my video list, there was also an interview that I did with Bruce Fuller. And Bruce Fuller did a lot of things for not just Predator 2, but he also did Alien vs. Predator as well. Yeah, Pygmy, you gotta get me, if you can. I already have an autograph from Ian White. I didn't meet him because he lives in England, but I would like to meet him one of these days. I know. Pygmy is so lucky. He gets to live in the UK. I know it's a 12-hour or so difference between me and you, Pygmy. But to see guys like Ian White is really cool. I mean, I met Derek Mears and Brian Steele, which I'm going to show you that picture right now. So Brian Steele is just an awesome guy, really down to earth, and I met him. So this is Brian Steele in the Berserker Predator suit, and he actually, this is my son Drake, the love of my life, bundle of joy. But Brian Steele did actually hold my son. So this is him, Brian Steele, Steve Wayne's in the background. But this is him holding my son Drake for the very first time at Monsterpalooza. I think my son was either 6 months old or a year old. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But yeah. And I also got him an autograph as well. So it's to Drake, my hunting partner. So I'm going to do a collage of this autograph with that photo and that photo too. So it'd be kind of like a nice good collage to do for my son. I know, right, Rails? I mean, how often is it that you can say that as a child I was held by a main character from a Predator movie? You can't say that. That's a very rare occurrence. He may not remember it. He's 8 years old. He just turned 8 March the 6th. So, God, it's hard to imagine, because when I first went to Monsterpalooza, this was in 2009, before Drake was even, my son was even a thought. So we went in 2010. Yeah, I bet that. So people were saying I actually spoke to Ian White through correspondence, and he likes my channel, which you can imagine got me. I bet that was very exciting. But yeah, well, it was 7 years ago that I met Brian Steele. I met him, 2 or 3 times, of course, but that was the first time I met him, and he held my son. I went back the second time to get the autograph, because I was busy, with Drake and holding him and spending time with my son. He got to meet all kinds of people for the first time. It was a lot of fun. And those are the things, like memories, that you want to hold on to for a long period of time. But it was just a lot of fun. So, but Monsterpalooza is just amazing. He does, only because he lives with his mom in Oregon. So Wolf asked, does your son watch your channel? He'll watch me because it's the only way that he can physically see me, other than with, cell phone. We can Skype, stuff like that. So I'm trying to move to Oregon to be closer to him. Now that he's 8 years old, he says to me, Dad, I miss you. Where are you? Why aren't you here? And it kind of breaks my heart that I can't help answer those questions. It's just an adult finance thing. And it sucks that finances is the only thing that usually is keeping me from being with my son. Money, 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 money. That's all ever people care about nowadays. Unless until you find the right person that would care more about finances than anything else. But nowadays that's rare because of the economy, the way it's going. We'll have to wait and see. But that's my plan. My plan is to move to Oregon, have my own place, my own house. I'll be turning 35 here in about 3 weeks. So I don't think I have any birthday plans, because I'm working on my birthday. I'll be working from probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon until closing time. It is what it is. But what's really also cool is, I'll go back to Bruce Fuller again. Bruce did a lot of things for Predator as well. So this is him sculpting the Celtic biohelmet for Alien vs. Predator. And this is also him sculpting the hand. Now this is what's really cool. So this is Bruce Fuller back in the 90s. And you can tell the difference between him being bald and him having hair at that point. And I think I'm going to go his route because this is getting ridiculous. I might as well go ahead and shave off my hair. So Pigman says, so if you're saying it must be cool living in the UK and Predator merchandise terms, it sucks. Yeah, I can understand for distributions and stuff like that, it's gotta suck. Especially with customs too. Because you have to worry about custom paying their fees and inspecting everything as far as what's going in and out of the country. I don't know. I want to visit the UK, Pygmy. If anything, if I visit the UK, because I know you guys have the Birmingham Comic Con, that's the one I want to visit. And if you ever go to the Birmingham Comic Con and Ian White's there, me and you's got to hit that up together. Yeah, I'm just thinking about getting rid of this. I'm going to go the Bruce Fuller route and just shave my head off. I just haven't decided yet. I mean, it's getting thinner as it is right now. I might as well just go ahead and just do it. But Bruce Fuller, though, if you notice the hand, so he's sculpting the anatomy. So there was a human anatomy hand on the mirror just so he can get the dimensions right for the Predator 2 City Hunter hand. And I just think that's amazing that you can see how a sculptor will still use that as reference to say, okay, well, this is the bones. If I increase it by 2 inches, where the bones would be and stuff like that. So I just think that's really, really awesome. And this is the finished hand once he was finished with it and painted it. So that's from the City Hunter. What's really even cool is the fact that Bruce Spalding Fuller did that giant skull at the end of Predator 2. Bruce sculpted this. And I was thinking to myself, I don't want to know what this thing looks like when it was done, when it was alive. This thing is a monstrosity. I mean, you talk about your nightmares becoming a reality, that's it. I don't want to see it. I'm glad that it's dead. I'm glad that a predator killed it. But Bruce Spalding Fuller was the one that did this. And it's kind of interesting because on dimensional aspects, it doesn't look that big. But when you do this, it looks like a huge monster. I missed out on Liverpool Comic Con. I always thought the Birmingham Comic Con was bigger than Liverpool. Because I thought, which one, I guess, is the capital. So I know London is kind of the capital. But how big of a population is Birmingham versus Liverpool? I mean, there's Birmingham, Alabama, is our capital here in the state. Yeah, it's a huge beast. It's an absolute huge beast of a skull. But what's really cool, though, is that he did all kinds of stuff. He also did the combo or convict stick. He sculpted that. Here's a picture of his sculpt that he did. He also worked on the vest for the City Hunter from Predator 2. So this is the Kevin Peter Hall fiberglass sculpt. So they had to sculpt all this in wet clay over his live cast. And then of course you have the back of it, just the torso. So you have the med kit, you have all the shingles and everything like there. And there's of course the other vest that's painted. So this is just even really cool. He also did a lot of things like the Brother Boar helmet. He did the painted version of it as well. So that's one side angle. Here's the other front view of the helmet. According to Bruce, he also did the Ram that we all know. A lot of the NECA figures call him the Warrior, which is kind of misleading, but we call him the Ram because of how big his bio helmet is. And then he also sculpted the Ancient Predator as well, or the Ancient Predator bio helmet. So if you'll notice the helmet that he's sculpting right here, that's the same Predator that's on top of the temple in the flashback scene of Alien vs. Predator. That's what he did. and this is the more close-up version of what it looks like when he's finished with it. Okay. Hey, that's a solid little party. I'll bring Twinkies, I'll bring American beer, which probably is very weak compared to your beer, but that sounds like a plan. Yeah, the ancient design Predator I think is a huge better concept, and well, I won't say a better concept, but the details that they did for the hose, for the breathing apparatus is just really, really awesome. Elder is my favorite. I don't know. I don't really have a favorite Predator, quite honest with you. Don't have a favorite Predator. I like all Predators. The other person, who else did I meet? So there was Bruce, Steve, Matt Rose, Matt Winston. I met Richard Landon. I also met the Canadian Lager. That'd be interesting. Me and you, Rhonda, we should go. We should go say, hey, Pygmy, we're gonna make a party at your house. We'll all hit up Liverpool Comic Con together. My favorite Predator novel. I probably, because I have the books, I just haven't had an opportunity to read them. But what I've read is Predator Incursion by Tim Levin, which is the most recent book outside of course, the anthology book, Predator If It Bleeds. There's also, as you guys know, the Rage War series. But I definitely like Predator Incursion. I like how that was written. It was slow in the beginning, but once towards the end, like chapters, how many chapters are? I think there was chapter 12. Anyway, the last few chapters got really busy, and I really like that a lot. Hey, that's a party, man. Rails, Rhonda, me, you, Pygmy. I know a few other UK Predators. I know you and I, Rails. We all know a couple of other UK Predators as well. We'll just hit them up, say, hey, we're in town. Let's go take Liverpool by storm. I haven't read Flesh and Blood. That's another thing, Rails. I haven't even listened to Incursion either. I want to listen to it and see how it's read versus, because how some person would read it versus how I would read it would be completely different. So I'd rather listen to it to see if there's any dramatic effect to it. That'd be interesting to do. It would be awesome. Can you imagine us all suited up as Predators? Just tugging back a couple of beers? That'd be awesome. Now also check this out. If you guys remember my necklace, let's see a better view of it. There it goes. So this necklace right here was given to me by Shannon Shea, and I'll show you who he is right now. So Shannon Shea is one of the original people in Predator. And if you'll notice from this picture, I'll go from left to right. So you got Shane Mahan, Steve Wang, Stan Winston, of course. Shannon Shea is right there with Richard Landon and Matt Rose at the very far right hand side. So also Shannon was a consultant on Predators. That's what he looks like now. So that's him and Derek Mears. And this is him giving me the necklace as a gift. So I was really, really excited to get that. So yeah, he gave this to me as a gift. Let me see. There you go. Three novels in 2 days, Pygmy. That's, I don't know. They're too thick. I'm not, criticizing my intelligence. I can read, but my rate of speed to read is not that fast. I would have to, especially the anthology book. My God, that thing is thick. It's like reading a Harry Potter novel. I wouldn't be able to read it all in one day. And the other person who else, Don Lanning. I also met Don Lanning as well. Now you guys may remember him from this particular photograph. He's sculpting the Alien vs. Predator design or concept. So he did a lot of things like this. This is where Don Lanning's building the suit for Scar, Celtic, and Chopper. So this is the foundation for the suits. And that's him standing beside the finished product for Alien vs. Predator. You already see the alien egg behind him. And that's me and Don Lanning and my son Drake. And believe it or not, that's Casey Love. Casey Love did also, Casey Love painted the Berserker and Classic Predator suits. So Casey Love did in fact paint this suit of Brian Steele in it. Someone's about to fire a plasma canister off of by accident. That's why you don't give harsh things to drunk people. That's why you don't give them knives or swords or anything like that. We're retarded. Yeah, Casey's awesome. And I'm glad that he's getting more work, because Casey Love right now, he's working for Sideshow Collectibles, and he's just now finished his Thanos maquette, the Thanos maquette where he's sitting on the throne, the new one that just got released. There's also the Batman Nightmares maquette where Batman is literally a half man, half bat sculpture that Casey Love painted. Casey Love did paint also the legendary scale bust from Predator 2, the City Hunter bust. Casey Love painted that too. So I think that's really cool, Casey. He's just doing his own things now. I don't think Casey is doing any more movie stuff. If he is, I haven't heard anything from him about it. I hear more on Sideshow Collectibles than I do anything else. But Don Lanning, I mean, he'll give me a hug every single time I see him. Super nice, super sweet guy. I love hanging out with these guys. Monster Palooza is a party. There's even an after party. I remember we went to Patrick McGee's studios, and there was a party there. Yeah. So that, I think if you notice, if there was the Batman vampire looking maquette, and there was the Joker maquette, it was their Gotham Nightmare collection series. So yeah, Casey Love painted all the bats on the gargoyle and painted that Batman. He didn't sculpt it, but Casey Love painted it. And it was because of that I actually wanted that Batman Gotham Nightmare series. I normally don't collect Batman, but normally I would actually collect that, if anything, because it was more like a vampire-ish, what would Batman look like to somebody who was a nightmare, because that's how Batman does his crimes, fighting, is striking fear into the hearts of men, so to speak. Who else did I meet? I'm trying to think who else I met. Oh. Here you go, guys. I did also, in fact, meet Sandy Calera. He is the director for Batman Dead End. So I met him. He's actually a really cool guy. And then of course I met David Silva. David Silva is the lead sculptor at NECA. And this is him sculpting the prototype for Scar. For the action figure you guys have, the open mouth Scar NECA figure. He sculpted that. So David Silva is a really cool guy. I don't have the open mouth Scarred action figure from him. I do have the masked Scar NECA figure. I just haven't gotten open mouth yet. But San Diego is awesome. David Mosher is awesome. I highly recommend if you ever get a chance to go to Monsterpalooza. I know there's people that travel from the UK and Europe to go to Monsterpalooza for that reason. Oh, the albino predator. I remember you doing that, Rhonda. That was awesome. But Sandy is just a really cool guy. Yeah, I can't sculpt for anything. I'll let them handle it. I'll just buy their artwork and appreciate it for what it is. That's just how I am. Who else did I meet? I'm trying to think all who I met. Oh yeah, I forgot. How can I forget this guy? Howard Berger. So the guy on the left-hand side with a mustache, that's Howard Berger from KMBFX working on Kevin Peter Hall. And there, of course, is me and Howard Berger now. So he worked on Chronicles of Narnia. He's worked on a few other really cool stuff with Robert Rodriguez. And so I met him. This is me, Howard, and Steve. Rails remembers this one, the Hunter's Lair banner. So I got Steve Wang and Bruce, or not Bruce, but Howard to hold it. That was a really cool moment. So Wolf asked a question. If a Yaocha gets bitten by a vampire, does it become a vampire? How about a werewolf or a zombie? Will it affect the Yaocha? Yes. Only because vampirism is more like a virus where it actually affects the bloodstream and it changes your chemistry altogether. It changes the stomach lining. It changes your cones. Like instead of having 3 cones, red, green, blue, you'll have quadrochromatic vision to where you can see at night, which is why you're a night person. You can't see in the daylight. And then with zombies, I don't know. But vampire, yeah. I can definitely see a predator becoming a vampire or a werewolf. Yeah, I agree with Pygmy. But here's the thing though. Would in fact, depending upon the predator's DNA, because a predator can live for 500 years. They're more reptilian. And they can fight off infection far more better than we can. Would their blood cell, you know, their immune system, would they fight off the virus to where it doesn't affect them? Or would they in fact change altogether because their body has never been used to that kind of a virus? I think that they would definitely change, because especially that's something that's foreign in their body, that their body's not used to or never experienced before. They would change. Yeah, Rails, I agree. It's not what it used to be. I still have my login access for the Predatorium, as what it's now called. It's not called the Hunter's Lair anymore. But a lot of people just jumped ship and went and made their own form, the Lost Hunter Sanctum. But we had good memories though. Good times. Ooh, that's a good question, or a statement. I think that because predators don't have hair, they have quills. So would they have even more quills like a porcupine? Or would they actually have hair? That'd be interesting. Yeah, we'll just stick with the wolf predator from Alien vs. Predator Requiem. He's our wolf. But a vampire-based predator, that'd be interesting. What blood would he need to survive? I would assume it'd be predator blood. Because if you watch Blade in the first film, they go into the science of why vampires drink blood. It's because their own blood can't withstand hemoglobin. So the red blood cell count kind of gets destroyed in the process because it's a virus, right? So they have to drink blood to replace that which is already being destroyed. It's their own nutrient system. Porcupred. That's pretty much what they are. I mean, you look at the classic Predator from Predators, and even with the other Predator. It depends on how the DNA is spliced. If you were to add physical attributes of a predator to a human, you'd have mandibles up here underneath the cheekbones coming out, and then of course underneath right here, underneath the mandible, coming out. But I don't know if they'd be really defined. Like in Concrete Jungle, his process wasn't even finished. It was cut short. So he was just big and ugly. He had quills. I mean, his hair was dreadlocks, but he didn't go through the complete process. So I don't know what he would look like had he finished his transformation. No, I've read Stranger. I have it. But there's the difference, though. With Stan Winston, he created it to be quills. They do bleed. Like our hair, it doesn't bleed if we lose hair. Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. Dracula he'd be dead. But the Predator would have to figure out how to kill Dracula to begin with. It depends if Yautja has ever fought a vampire before. Because vampire is top of the food chain in aspects to us. Because, vampires eat us or drink our blood. That'd be interesting to see. Predator versus Dracula. Like a Tomb of Dracula comic book. Tomb of Dracula versus Predator. That'd be interesting. I don't think vampires even care. Same sex, opposite sex. It's food. He definitely was an abomination, which is why Scarface had to take him out. Like, nope, you can't do this. These are against the rules. No, 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 no. I like the end where he wrote his clan symbol all over the face of that Statue of Liberty. Or, not Statue of Liberty, but it was similar. That big, huge statue in Neonopolis. That was pretty dope. That was pretty much saying, like, Scarface is saying, no, you are not the boss in this city. I am. So now I want to play the game again. Thanks a lot, Pygmy. And I don't have my PlayStation 2 here or anything to play it with. Aliens coming with a female vampire against the xenomorphs. Well, here's another question. Can a vampire drink acidic, sulfuric acid alien blood? No, they can't. They'd have to have some kind of enzymes to break all that down. It's just I haven't played a Predator game in a long time. I might go on my cell phone and play Alien vs. Predator Evolution or Predators again. You've never beat Concrete Jungle? I don't know. To me, I like it because with on the PlayStation controller, of course, you have the left stick to look around, right stick to move. I'm able to multitask where, okay, if I'm heading in this direction, I can look to see. I don't know. To me, it was just easy. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm going to show it one more time before I move on to other things. Pigman, did you see this? My new pin? I'm wearing this to the Alabama Comic Con next weekend, or this coming weekend. That's going to be sick. Okay, so I have a question, and I really don't know what to do about it. I'm hoping you guys will help. Says Wolf, that's cheating. I need Skyrim, but the only mods you can get is for the PC, and I'm not really a PC gamer. So with Skyrim, I would love to play it. The Predator skin mods. Left 4 Dead 2, I don't remember seeing any skins for that as a modification on the PC. But I'll have to look into YouTube videos to see if anyone's played Left 4 Dead Predator version. Okay, so here's my question. I have 4 original comic book pages from Predator to Life and Death. I have 2 of the same character, and I have 2 others of only but 1 character. So let that sink in for a second. So I'll show you the pages that I have. The ones that I'm going to keep, I'm going to show you first. So this is page 11. This is from issue 2. So you're going to see the Hive Warrior right there. I'm not getting rid of this page. Okay? So this page I'm not getting rid of. New. Now the next page that I have, this is from issue 3, page 20. And this page is for this guy right here, the Demon Predator. Or I guess they call him the Devil because he has horns. So this is the cover for issue number 3. Okay. So if you'll notice on this page here, this is page 20 like I said. There he is right there. So the Devil Predator, or the Predator with the horns, the cover one, that's him. So this one is my favorite. Not getting rid of that one. Just give me a minute. Aw, you spoiled it. Rails, you shouldn't have said that. That's cool, man. I appreciate that, though. Okay, so the other one I have is Crack Tusk. So this is, I have the splash page. I showed it to you guys last month. But this is the one that I'm thinking about getting rid of. So you have Crack Tusk Predator, the NECA Kenner Homage version of the Predator with the Colonial Marines dropship. So this is the one I'm thinking about getting rid of. Well, I appreciate that, Rails. I really do. So Rails was saying there was a lot more than that, though, in the care package, other than the patch. That's awesome, Rails. I appreciate that, man. It better not be how like you did it last time, with the pay it forward, the San Diego Comic-Con Berserker. If I get a big, huge box, and there's 2 things in it, another prank on Glendon. That's funny. I can already hear Rails laughing his butt off. Just the sheer fact that he pulled a prank like that. And what I'm referring to, guys, is that Rails sent me a San Diego Comic-Con Cloaked Berserker exclusive Predator. I think this is from back in 2011 or 2012. Okay, I'm glad. But Rails sent me that figure in a brown Hot Toys Berserker, Hot Toys brown shipper box. So I get it. I'm looking at the Hot Toys brown shipper box, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, there's no way he would send me a Hot Toys figure. No way. And sure enough, I open it, and it's the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that he promised. And I realized what he was playing at. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Maybe think second guess what it actually is versus what you did give me. That was clever. So, speaking of Hot Toys, with that last page that I showed you, I'll show it again, just in case you missed it. So, should I trade this page? I have better lighting. So I trade this page for either 1 or 2 Hot Toys figures at Alabama Comic-Con. That's your question. Or should I trade it for something else? Or should I keep it? Because again, as I mentioned before, I have 2 pages of Crack Tusk. The splash page, which is an entire page of him and just him, I'm not getting rid of. I think you can order them, Pygmy. The Predator pins like this one, I think they ship worldwide. Just go to Wasteland. I'll take it off real quick so I can show you the company. So this is the logo. So go to wastelandpincompany.com. They also have an Instagram account. And I do think they ship worldwide where you can get this pin. Or, you know, this pin. But it's actually a metal backing. Let me see, hold on. There we go. Yeah, it's metal. Alright, Steve says absolutely not. You have history there. Well, so here's my thing, Steve. The reason I'm thinking about getting rid of it is because, you know, I don't really have a lot of other stuff in my collection that I want to add to it. I mean, yeah, sure, the Hot Toys figures, they're not going anywhere. They're mass produced on a massive level. I can get them whenever I want once I have the money. I'm actually going to make my pre-orders for the Wolf Predator Hot Toys figure that will come out in July. My pre-orders, or my payment plan, starts next month. So there's that option. This is an original page, the only one that exists in the entire world, and I have it. Rails, to answer your question, the figures that I want for Hot Toys would be Scar and Celtic, just to start with my Alien vs. Predator, you know, lineup. Being since I'm pre-ordering the Wolf, I'm like, well, I might as well go ahead and get Scar and Celtic and the Elder. So if I can get 3 Hot Toys figures to trade for that, I might get rid of it. But that's the only thing. Should I just wait and just slowly acquire the Hot Toys, or should I pick them up all at once for the sake of getting rid of that, just that one page? But I think here, I'll go ahead and get the other page. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. So there's that. Okay. So that's pretty much what I'm thinking about doing. Thank you, Rhonda. Rhonda gave me that blanket. I still have it. I still wear it a lot. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, Rels. It's a hard decision. Alright, Rels, I'll see you later. But no, this is the page that I'm keeping. This page right here, I'm going to keep. I'm not getting rid of it. Take care, Rails. I'll see you later, man. Hey, just let me know when your package gets shipped. So you can give me the tracking number so I can keep track of it. It is an investment, yes. It will appreciate in value, most definitely. Because it has another, well, it does have a choice to either go up and down, but I don't know. Just thoughts in my head. So Rails is not sure about the decision. So you, Pygmy, and Steve says to keep it. Okay. 2 out of 3. What about you, Rhonda? What do you think? So Rhonda, do you think I should keep the page or get a Hot Toys figure? Or 2? I'm just guessing. Because being since I have the splash page I just showed, and I have the other page, the Crack Tusk, that's 2 Crack Tusks, 1 Devil, and 1 Hive Warrior. I don't really need 2 of the same character. Okay, you're saying keep it as well? Okay. Years to come. Well, hopefully I won't need the money at that point if I ever try to get like $500 or $1,000 for it. Is that, see, that's another thing too with collecting, and I'm actually glad, Pygmy, you brought that up. Collecting I'm seeing is just bad. Toys R Us, Pygmy, you also talked about it too, where Toys R Us is going out of business. I have Toys R Us exclusive things. I have my glow-in-the-dark Toys R Us exclusive Dorbs. I have also the Toys R Us exclusive Mini-Mates from Diamond Select Toys. You know, it's funny, Wolf. I thought money was going to be an issue too. But when they said, well, we don't charge your card until it arrives, and they announced it, the pre-order, back last year, and my payment plan doesn't start till April, I'm already going to have half of it paid off, you know, like that, quickly. It's $50 a month for a payment plan. That's US dollars, of course. So $50 a month, and I'll have it, because it doesn't get shipped until July. So, well, so I'm saying, Pygmy, so with Toys R Us closing and collectibles, I don't see a lot of people collecting as much as they used to. It's kind of interesting. There's people that are collecting comics, but all I ever hear about are Funko Pops. That's all I ever hear in the collecting world. When I go into FYE, which is considered for your entertainment here in the States, the entire wall is nothing but Funko Pops. There's other things like t-shirts and action figures, but if you look at one of my videos in my toy hunting, there's nothing in FYE as far as prior goes. There's the 1/4 scaled City Hunter with the LED lights. They have 4 of those. They've been sitting there for over 2 years. They have the Diamond Select Toys Mini-Mates. And what NECA figures they do have are from the new Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger's. They have a couple of Aliens, and that's it. No Predators. which is why I normally don't go into FYE anymore, because I think I bought some of, if not all of their Predator merchandise. If I already have it, I'm not going to buy duplicates of it. And with Toys R Us going out of business, I'm hoping that's not the case for their online distribution. Their stores might be closing to liquidate their stores, but I hope there's still an online website to where I can still get Toys R Us exclusives that way. Because I don't think I'm done with the Mini-Mates from Diamond Select Toys. I think I'm still missing a couple. So if they've liquidated anything as of yet, I have to go there after Alabama Comic-Con if there's any money left over, which there will be, just to give me a couple more Mini-Mates. So yeah, I don't know. No one is really collecting anymore. That's one way of looking at it. So Pygmy says, the thing though, 10 to 20 years from now, or 10 to 20 years ago, people wouldn't think the original Kenner Predator figures would be worth it, but now they are. They're not closing Toys R Us's in Canada, Rhonda? I thought they were closing everything. Because to my understanding, as of this past Wednesday, Toys R Us as a company, a corporation, they were supposed to go through the process of bankruptcy / liquidation through the federal court system. I don't know if that's just for the States. I don't know how many stores that are closing here versus internationally. But that's good though. I could always hit you up for some Toys R Us stuff. Honey. But yeah, I don't know. I still love collecting. I still love collecting Predator. But you just gotta think where Predator's gonna be in the next 10 to 20 years. Pygmy. I think that's actually probably what's gonna happen. That I'll keep everything that I have. Whatever appreciates in value will appreciate in value. What doesn't, doesn't. I don't really collect for monetary gain. I really don't. That's actually another thing that I'm going to do in my video on my birthday, that Wednesday. That's another good point, Steve. I'm glad you brought that up. So Steve says everything is cynical or psychological, like it goes through cycles. Sorry. Marvel was going out of business at one point, but now look at them. Comics are booming again. That's happened before in the 70s. When you had TV shows like Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk, that was Bruce Banner, not David. Or David Banner, I'm sorry. And then you had Thor, you had Daredevil, Wonder Woman with Linda Carter, who played the original Wonder Woman back in the the 70s. So it's interesting where you live through that, where you'll go from one decade of 10 years of nothing. The 1980s, we had those cartoons like Thundercats, Transformers, Batman the Animated Series in the 90s, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. I remember growing up with Power Rangers and I was the only one collecting them. Now, there's Jason David Frank that's going to be at Alabama Comic Con, the Green Ranger. Power Rangers are a big now commodity with cosplaying groups, but I think that's a generational divide, really, because Steve, if you think about it, we as kids, we are now adults, so the things we grew up as kids are now popular with the kids that we're now raising as parents, who I'm 35 with an 8-year-old. It's just we're allowing them to collect certain things, but the other aspect of collecting, like Toys R Us is doing with their physical retail stores, it's all online. My son, he doesn't play with action figures. I bought him 2 pop vinyls from video games that he plays. That's all he does is play video games. He's getting in trouble at home because of playing video games all day long. But I got him Cuphead for the Xbox. I also got him Minecraft because he plays Minecraft. So, I don't know. It's just one of the things. It's the same concept with comic books. On why comic books, as you mentioned before, Steve, about how it's booming again. But there are those who will download comics digitally and just read the digital copy. They won't get the physical copy. I still get physical copies for obvious reasons. I mean, why would I not get the physical copy of the original piece of artwork? So that's just my thing on comic books. I will never download a digital comic book. I'd rather have it in my hand and get it graded, get it signed, because it is memory. Like Pygmy, you were saying, for personal satisfaction. So he says, I collect for personal satisfaction. I just get extra ones to think forward in the future, like I do. With, if you'll notice, and I'll go back to Phoenix Comic Con. This is me at Phoenix Comic Con, ready to go comic book hunting. So for me, that's Andy Kubert, and I got 2 of those signed. I got number 1 signed and number 2 signed. Number 1 is the original issue, and number 2 that's signed is the premium format that was signed by Arthur Sidom. So that's Arthur Sidom with his print of the cover of Batman vs. Predator, that cover of his premium format page. And here it is with me and Scott Collins. So I got 2 of the same copies, 1 signed, 1 originally graded. So one will appreciate more in value than the other one. Not that that's my goal, right? But that's why I usually do it, because I'll have one that's not signed, one that is signed. Yeah, I love Andy. I met both Andy and Adam. They were separate. So Adam I met at Amazing Arizona Comic Con. There's his. So that's Andy's brother, Adam Kubert, of the Kubert Art School. And I met Andy. So I got them both signed. Pygmy says, it's like my friend who loves Transformers but has never seen the original animated movie or the animated series. I never felt so old. I'm right there with you, man. I think it's funny when someone brings up a certain animated series like Batman the Animated Series, or they'll bring up a movie like Police Academy with Michael Winslow, the black guy with does all the sound effects. They look at me like, what's Police Academy? I'm like, oh God, you just made me add another 20 years of my life. Well, Steve, I'm gonna refresh a few things because I think Steve's missed out on a few things. But at Phoenix Comic Con, Steve, I met Chris Claremont. He wrote Alien vs. Predator: Deadliest of the Species. So here, I'll go back to it really quickly. So that was Scott Collins. So there's me and Chris Claremont. If you'll notice on the very right hand where it says Nightcrawler, Chris Claremont did the Uncanny X-Men. He also did Days of Future Past. So he did Nightcrawler, Storm, Gambit, Jubilee, Mystique. He helped create all these characters, right? So if you watch Days of Future Past, that's Chris Claremont on the far left. His writing partner, Len Wayne, who unfortunately passed away, on the right-hand side, and the Sentinel program scene of the movie. And that's Chris Claremont with Hugh Jackman, Wolverine himself, on the set of Days of Future Past. And this is an interview that he did.
Days of Future Past, you come in the last act of a tragedy. The first cover says it all. I mean, you look at that wanted poster behind Logan and Kitty, and they're all the X-Men, and half of them say dead. And you know, just looking at it, that everybody there who is a mutant is living on borrowed time. The neat tagline for Days of Future Past was that you don't know what will happen tomorrow. You just have to do everything you can today to make the world and life in the world as good as possible.
So that was the interview that I just did. Now here's my question I did at Phoenix Comic Con with Chris Claremont. Listen to this, Steve.
So, Chris, I asked you about Aliens vs. Predator: Deadliest of the Species, which I want to thank you for signing a book for me.
You're welcome.
The next question I have is exactly how did Dark Horse approach you about the project, and how did you feel about the project tackling a big franchise that Dark Horse started?
93, some mid-90s. They called. I said, "Oh well, I'm unemployed." It's amazing how that will automatically make every offer.
Yeah.
If he called up and said, "You want to do Daffy Duck?" Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Daffy, hitherto unsuspected mutant, living in Westchester. And then the second part was, so what could I do that nobody else has done? And I thought, I could, oh no, not again. Yeah, I tried that.
Oh, okay.
But unfortunately, I don't do music. And cliche as it sounds, I thought, screw it. Let's do Kick-Ass. Let's do the Predator and the Alien as heroes, and see what happens. And I did. Mm-hmm. It's the only, as far as I can remember, it's the only Alien Predator story where the two characters are legitimate heroes, in every sense of the word.
Sinister laugh.
Well,
Insert sinister laugh here.
So you didn't feel intimidated at all by taking on the project at all?
No. I mean, we're writers. That's the whole point.
We're the pros from Dover. We don't need to be intimidated to.
There you go. Thank you.
So yeah, there was that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I see. I didn't know if you heard that part or not. I just figured I went. So wait, Scott Marshall was an extra in Police Academy 4? I didn't know that, Rhonda. That's funny. Now I'm going to have to bring up how I met Michael Winslow in front of Scott whenever I get a chance to meet him. Alien Predator Save Christmas. Did you know there was actually a comic book where the Universal monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, they actually do Alien vs. Predator? I'm not even kidding. Well, let's see. Pygmy says, I only just discovered they had a new series of Devilman on Netflix. I don't even know they even had Devilman. Are you like Daredevil? Is that what you're saying, Pygmy? Daredevil or Devilman? Because here, they have a Daredevil here. I think... I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I do. Hold on. I have a lot of comic books. Come here. Alright, so... I'm trying to find that one comic book where it was Universal Monsters versus Alien versus Predator. It's gonna be the life of me if I can't find it. Oh. How funny. So speaking of Alien versus Predator Deadliest of the Species, Platinum Edition, or the silver foil. Oh, Devilman the anime. I like anime. I don't love anime, but I like it. It's fun to watch. But I don't think I'll ever will watch anything more than just Vampire Hunter D, stuff like that. I think this is all my graded stuff. Yeah, this is all my graded stuff. So if you'll notice, this is how they grade comic books. so it's near mint. Or mint, I guess. But I'm not sure what grade it will get as far as a 9.8 or 9.0. I have to get these finished. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough money to finish the process, so those got to be graded. Some Matthias. I think I put the comic book somewhere, but I'll show a picture of it probably later on. That's cool, Pygmy. So Devilman is the only anime I like because it was very adult. How adult? We're not talking about like hentai, are we? Because that's about as adult as you can get. But see, the anime that I used to watch was Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Vampire Hunter D, some Robotech. Never watched Gundam. I started watching Full Metal Alchemist. Never got to finish it. Started watching Attack on Titan. No, I'm not dabbing. So yeah, I don't know. I like anime. Just there's just too much anime to watch. There really is. Hey, Willis. So, I want to know about your guys' story. So, Pygmy, Rhonda, I know you've been to cons. Steve, I don't know if you've been to a con, or Wolf, Prairie Queen. What's your con experiences like? Rhonda, she's all over the place. She goes there for the costumes. Shagogan no Shana. That sounds familiar, Steve. I'll have to double check on that one. I think I've watched a couple of it, but I have to see it. Hey, Bailey. So you guys heard about my con experiences from Phoenix Comic Con, Phoenix Fan Fest, Tucson. What about your con experiences? What was your most favorite? Which ones do you want to go to the most this year? Because it's 2018. The movie's going to be coming out pretty shortly. The Predator in September, not August, but... in your case, Rhonda, just cosplaying. Just in general, like, what was your best con experience? Wolf Predator, if you do get a chance to go to a con in your area, try to go to, even if it's a small con, if you can, just go to one of the smallest cons that you can. Sometimes cons start off in hotel convention areas. That's usually, and they just, if they're successful, they'll blow up from there. They'll get their own convention center or civic center, depending upon where you live. But the cons that I'm used to going to is always at like the Phoenix Convention Center in downtown Phoenix. There's the Tucson Convention Center in downtown Tucson. So I don't know if anybody has convention centers or civic centers. Believe it or not, Birmingham has the Birmingham Jefferson Convention Center. They call it here the BJCC. So they're going to obviously have, you know, the Alabama Comic-Con there. So I'm going to that this weekend. I got so much to do. So much to do. Pygmy says, I'd love to go to San Diego Comic-Con, but alas, I'm stuck here in the UK unless the company wants to fly me out there. Hint, hint. Pygmy, I don't know, dude. I've tried going to San Diego Comic-Con. I signed up for a membership. I have a member login. I would go there registration day. I would sit there for 2 hours from 9 a.m. until all the tickets were sold out. And when they sold out, it was saying, I'm sorry, but The current registration now is closed. Thank you for supporting San Diego Comic-Con. Have a nice day. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I don't know, Matthias, can you go? You got Saturday and Sunday off? I think I've met Linda Blair once. She probably won't remember me because it was a one-time thing. That's sweet. Oh, that's right. See, you were telling me about that. Your photographs. That was your wife that was introducing you to the cons? Cons are awesome, dude. I don't know. This is the one time out of a busy month, or your, I guess, considered mundane month of the year, and you actually get to go be yourself and have fun, and you don't want to leave. And I think Baltimore Comic Con is where, in actuality, Steve, that's where you can get your comic books graded on site, because CGC has on-site grading. So if you have a comic book, get them graded, because they'll do it on site and you'll get them that day or the end of the con. I wanted to go to Baltimore Comic Con for that reason, but I can't go. Yes, there is what is called the San Diego Comic Con a professional badge, but you still have to qualify for being a professional. You get what's considered as a not compensation, it's more of a gratuity, complimentary, there we go, complimentary badge for being a professional, and you still have to go into a waiting room. It's still a lottery system, whether you get one or not, I think. Oh, my mouth is dry right now, Matthias. Yeah, my buddy, who's an artist, he got himself a professional badge. But what I'll try to do is I'll try to qualify for the professional badge for 2019, depending upon what's happening in 2019 with my life situation and everything like that. So there's that option. So there's also, I tried getting tickets for this year's San Diego Comic Con. I would have saved up money for that and that alone, but there's still Alabama Comic Con. It's still a con. That's 2 days. Hopefully I can get a hotel room. I don't want to drive an hour back and forth on gas. I might just do the one day. I haven't decided yet. That's true, Rhonda. That's for sure. So when you're a guest on panels or a judge, you get a VIP special pass where you don't have to pay for it. But I know I got a free pass when I did a panel at Phoenix Comic Con. I had to submit the panel suggestion, how long the panel would be, what administration you would need to help moderate the panel. So that was cool. I got to go to Phoenix Comic Con for free. All the money that I had saved up for all the badge purchasing, that'd be like $30 or $60 for a weekend. That extra money went towards food or toys. Alright, Pygmy. Well, I appreciate you again for the live stream. Again, I'll do another live stream next month. I think I'll probably do it, if I'm looking at my calendar really quickly, that'll be on April the 25th. As if schedule, works. It might be earlier than that. So good night, Pygmy. I'll catch you later as well. And actually, I think it's going on. I got 15 more minutes left before I start hanging out as well. I still gotta do laundry and cook food. I have to go to work tomorrow, but I'll give about 15 more minutes. $200 to $300. I hope they give you some special package. Well, I think, Rhonda, in your case, they did give you a shirt and a swag bag for all the good stuff. Steve, you're a riot. Sweet dreams, pygmy poo. But I have tons of stuff in planning that I have to do for Alabama Comic Con. I still have to get this, you know, sewn onto my back of my jacket. I still have to get my other stuff that I have to pack for my backpack ready. I have to get snacks, food. This is crazy, crazy planning. If I can find a cheap hotel, I'll stay there for the night and go back the next day. I just haven't decided if I want to do that or not. So yeah. So Steve, regarding your prints that you're doing for your photography, is that all you're going to have at your booth? Or are you going to have other items? If I was Iocha, what would I do? I'd probably go hunting. I wouldn't care about a Comic-Con. Iocha's predators don't care about Comic-Cons. Only we as humans do. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all I have to talk about for the day. So yeah, what I'm gonna do really quickly is go in and get my jacket. Oh, that's right, your drawings. That's good. The only reason I was concerned is because I don't want you, Steve, to just have prior stuff at your booth. Knowing me, that's probably what I would have. But it's always good to diversify to get a little bit of a profit. I hope that you at least break even and not lose, because I know you had to pay for your booth, right? Because I know booth prices, depending upon the con, could actually be quite astronomical if they're really, really a big con. I'm going to try to go through Artist Alley and get some more art prints. And whatever I buy that I find, I'll try to buy 2 of each. One for me and one for the giveaway that I plan on doing. So that will be announced on my birthday. And the reason for that is to allow me to recuperate from taxes, because it's tax season and stuff like that. So I'll be sending out that box probably on the 14th or so. Yeah, sorry about the lag. Right now I'm at 619 kilobytes per second. It's going kind of in and out. And I'm hardwired too. I think it's just because of my computer. But I changed all the settings that I could from where we were at last time. But what I think I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to let everyone go. Being since I've already spoke about all the cons I went to, shared my experience with the cons, I will definitely let you know what Alabama Comic Con has to offer, because there will be an Alabama Comic Con coverage video next week. Obviously, because I'm going not this coming week, but the week after that. Because I think it'll be the 24th or the 25th. So you have a full another week left of March. So that video will be on the 28th of March for what I did and what I saw at Alabama Comic Con. So there's going to be a lot of pictures, a lot of video coverage. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of Predator stuff there. Not too much where I can't afford it, but just enough to where I can, you know, get some stuff that I can find that's rare to the con and send out for a giveaway. But as always, guys, as I mentioned before, I just want to thank you very much for seeing my live stream. Rhonda, Steve, Pygmy, Wolf, Rails, all you guys are awesome. Matthias and Willis, you two as well. And I guess I'll just see you guys later. Bye, guys. Love you.